Thanks for joining me. I'm going to create this video to show two different ways to recover a VM within vCenter utilizing our plugin. I'll first show you kind of the way to go about it with our traditional plugin that we've had, and then our very latest plugin, which is the remote plugin that VMware is starting to require if you want to have integration into VMware. We've already got the remote plugin rolled out. So I'll show you both ways if you've got the older integrated plugin and the newer remote plugin. So to start with, I've got this environment that's got a Pure Flash array in it. It's got a vSphere environment in it as well, a couple of ESX hosts, and just one VM in it. But here in the UI for the array, I'll go to the protection. I'll go to protection groups. You'll see that I've got a protection group out here called hourly snaps. And it's enabled, and it's creating a snapshot every hour. And these are the two volumes that I've got that are actually being snapshotted based on this schedule. And you can see down below that I've got quite a few snapshots in here already. So if I jump back over into the VMware environment, and I've got this one VM, if I wanted to recover this VM alone, let's say for example I got a phone call that this VM has gotten corrupted, maybe it's not booting, maybe something's wrong with it, maybe someone deleted something out of the entire VM and it's unusable, whatever the case may be. If I wanted to recover it and I wanted to go to say a backup to restore that VM, well, that backup might have taken place last night, and that can be up to possibly 24 hours ago. So normally I'm going to want to try to get a VM recovered to a more recent point in time, and snapshots on the array are the way to do this. And again, snapshots don't have any impact to the VMs whatsoever. They have no idea that the array underneath it is taking these array-based snapshots. So let's say, for example, I got a call that VM1, I needed to recover it for whatever reason. I see that VM1 is running on this data store here labeled Pure DS1. If I go to my data store tab here, I can see Pure DS1. I can click on snapshots, and it shows me a list of the snapshots here. And of course I'd want to go to the most recent one, and I can sort this. So if I clicked here, it would actually resort this and bring the most recent snapshot to the top. I select that snapshot, and then I can copy it to a new data store. And I'll just call it Pure DS1-restored. Hit next. Specify which compute resource. I could go to all of them, but I'll just go to one of them. I'll just set it up for ESXi test drive 1. I don't need to associate it to a protection group. Don't need to QoS it. And this is my summary here. I'm going to create a data store called Pure DS1-restored off of that snapshot and hit finish. And this integration is going to take care of everything for you. It's going to go locate that snapshot, present it as a volume to VMware, scan the bus, see it. VMware is going to say, hey, we've got this disk already. We're going to say, we know, go ahead and do the resignature of it as a new volume. So that's the process that's going on right there. You can see resignaturing volume. It takes about 15 to 30 seconds for that piece to happen. Once that happens, then it'll rename it to Pure DS1-restored, and we'll see it here in just a moment pop up. So we'll give it just a second here. Again, this piece right here is really the piece that takes the longest. Is just resignaturing it, getting the OK back from VMware once that's done, and then we say, okay, go ahead and call this Pure DS1 restored. And if I click on that and I go to files, I can find VM1 here. This is the VM that we want to recover, and I can click it, I can register it. We'll call it VM_1. Select a location for it. We're just going to go there, hit next. Specify which ESX host I want to run. I can select either one. but I don't have that data store available. If you recall, when I actually presented it, I selected ESXi1, so I'll go ahead and select that. We can see that it sees the data store. Hit next. This shows me the summary, and then I hit finish. And if I were to show the recent tasks, we can see that it registered the VM and it completed, which means, of course, if we go look over here, we'll see that VM1_1 is there. And the next step would be simply to right-click on it, do a migrate, change the storage, hit next. So specify the data store that I want it to go back to, hit finish, and now it's going to move that VM over there. I can see it's relocated it. It's already storage vMotioned it over there. I could power it up and begin using it, and I can clean up after myself. I can go back in here. I can right click on this data store that I've temporarily used to restore that VM, come underneath here and go to destroy data store, and basically that's going to clean everything up for me. It's going to unmount it from that ESX host. It's going to remove the provisioning of it to this host, and then scan the bus, clean everything up, and voila, it's gone. But I've recovered my VM from a snapshot from a very recent point in time. So a very easy way to go about recovering a VM. If you've got the latest plugin, which is, for example, the 5.2.1, which is our remote plugin, well, it makes it a little easier to even do this. What I can do is I can actually, let's say, for example, I got the call that VM1 was down. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and we'll just power it off. It's powered off. I can't reboot it. I can't bring it back online. You know, what can I do? Well, I can actually right-click on the VM, go to the Pure Storage plugin, and say recover from snapshot, and it'll bring up a list of the snapshots. And I can go select the latest one, hit next, specify what I want to call it. It's already labeled _2 since I've got the _1 out there. And it's going to ask me, you know, where do I want it to run at? So I'm going to select ESXi2, just arbitrarily, hit next, shows me a summary. It tells me that we're going to create a temporary data store on your behalf, and that's how we're actually going to recover the snapshot, or excuse me, the VM. Hit finish, and then it's going to do all of that for me. It's going to go grab that latest snapshot, present it, bring it up, resignature that temporary volume, and then go and locate that VM's VMX file, and it's actually going to go ahead and register it for me and clean everything up. So as you'll be able to see, with the very latest plugin, the 5.2.1, it makes recovering a VM from a snapshot very, very easy. So I recommend downloading and upgrading that, even though you don't have to have VMware 8. VMware 8 is where VMware is pushing for all integration plugins to be remote. We've already developed one. It'll work with 7, it'll work with 8, etc. So you can see now it's registering the VMs. I hit finish, and it's going to clean everything up for me. So I've already got VM1_2 there. It's cleaning up. It's relocated the VM, so it's actually going to move it for me, so I don't even have to do that. And it'll make sure everything's tidy. Once the VM's been moved over there, it cleans up after itself. We're done. The VM has been recovered, and it's done all of the steps through this integration for us. So, hope that was helpful. This will take another 30 seconds to complete, so no reason to sit here and just watch the screen. Well, there it is. It's done. So I can see VM1.2 is here. I can now just power it up. And it's online, and I've recovered that VM, and you can see it's running back on the production data store. And if I look at the data stores, we can see this is cleaning up. So it uses these temporary ones out here. These will eventually go away. But that's it. That's how quick and easy it is to recover a VM with the plugin from a snapshot. Thanks.